1079 KCJM The Joy. 1079 KCJM The Joy. 1079 KCJM The Joy.
'Time is coming. The real is standing. The real is starting to meet. Sir, so go back home and have some serious talk. Black Power. Black Power.
No justice? We done dying, folks. We done fucking dying, folks. Excuse my language, but I didn't commit to not cussing today. What I want you to know is, this brother just said something really powerful. The old Black Panther Party, the new Black Panther Party, the village, the NAACP, the people from the streets, the people from Macomb and VZ. We all here, we all done dying, we tired of y'all shit, and we ready to
1079 KCJM, The Joy.
Ask me that question. You want to know what is your plan for black people, not all people, but black folks? Every day I get up, I thank the Lord for waking me up and for giving me another opportunity to be great again. And every day that I wake up, this skin color does not change. It's always gonna be black. It get darker some days, but it's always gonna be black. If I'm not trying to better it for the black man, then something is really wrong with me. I can't help but want better for a black man. So I'm striving for the black man to be able to sit at the table, because I know what the person that's asking this question, I'm going to give them what they want. Me as a black man is striving, and I work hard to sit at the table with the white man. And I'm going to sit at the table with the white man as a black man. And I'm going to work with the white man as a black man. But I want not just the black man to have better, I want the white man to have better too. Because we got to work side by side if we want to make it better. So I'm not doing it with blinders on and with tunnel vision. To me, this is me speaking. And this is going to get some backlash. But if all you worry about is the black man, then don't open your mouth when the white man only worry about the white man. I have a problem with that. Because if the white man just wanted for him, I'm going to have a problem with the white man. And if a black man just wants for him, I got a problem with him too. Because it takes all of us working together. No matter what color a person is. Now, I ain't no fool. I ain't no fool. Sometimes he gonna need me. Sometimes I'm gonna need him. And we gonna have to work together. And sometimes he might not like me. Sometimes I might not like him. But if this is our goal, we're gonna work together.
True, and I can show you that, and I have those bills pulled for you guys, and I figure, Cynthia, you're going to know some of these folks and their names. I also have Mr. Hinton's bill and Mr. Stephen Chark's total history. I'm not going to put it under the scope. I had planned to, but I just don't. It's not about that, other than I have it here for you guys to see, and you're going to see that what is being reported and what these guys benefited from with Restore and how they pay their bills. It is a shame that they put that out and beat up people every day about it, and just nearly destroyed what Restore could do for people. But they didn't kill it.
And still beating up some of us.
Yeah, and still beating up some of them. You know, Restore didn't expend everything in it, in part.
This is what the dark web has on you. And this is why I always warn people, be careful about what you do. And sometimes it's not you that's the issue. It's the people that's holding your information. Don't keep this to yourself, so share this so you can help others. Now let's get into it. So what you want to do is go to Google and you want to type this in right here. Hit enter. Then you want to scroll down until you see this one right here. Or you can type it in the URL and then you click here. I was legit gatekeeping this information. Then you put your email address here, then hit scan. Keep in mind, this is just with a free scan. Bro, look at this. And some of it I do have to cover because it shows all this information. It gets deeper. All the dark web searches, this is insane. Social media, public records, PW, numbers, usernames, and IPs. Digital footprint is real. This is for educational purposes. I just want everybody to protect themselves. Make sure your information is not leaked. And if you are exposed, it will help you take precaution. This is what the dark web.
Somebody said you're the activist, you do it. I'ma block you for that, lazy ass Negro. I'ma block you for that. Stop hating, my ninja. You need a testosterone shot. Man, you calling people the N-word with a white Jesus? Goodbye. Goodbye. Who else? I think let's have a 5-minute block party. Who else? Let's have a 5-minute block party. Who else? Let's have a 5-minute block party. Who else want to get blocked? What are you protesting? I'ma block you. Goodbye. He said, what are we protesting? Block. I don't have time for the coonery this morning. I'm so sorry. I don't have time for the Negro-pean elite. I'm sorry. I can't take it today. I can't take it today. Where's the school at? Have a nice day. Where the school at? Goodbye. Goodbye. We having a block party. Goodbye. Good. He said, where the school at? And I'm sitting at the school. Goodbye. Goodbye. This is your first Dr. Umar live? Are you kidding me? This is your first Dr. Umar live? Where do you live? Where have you been? Do you not know who I am? Is this not why you are here? Who are you? Where have you been? Somebody's dog keeps shitting on our campus, and I'm getting tired of it. Can somebody find out whose dog keeps shitting? Stop letting your dog shit on our school. Who dog be doo-dooing on my grass? Somebody said you're the...
And stop acting colorblind. Because like I said, imagine if you really couldn't see color. You wouldn't know how to live. It is through color that nature tells you what's good for you. Right. So, act like you don't know the color white ain't bad for you. Act like you don't know snow is white. And when snow comes, summer leaves, all life and vegetation stops. Act like you don't know parasites and maggots is white. And when they come, they kill you from the inside out. Act like you don't know the white man, every time he jumped off the boat in a foreign land, at least 85% of the people that was there before him become eradicated. Act like you don't know the color white reflects light. Act like you don't know that sunlight actually gives you intelligence. And by the white man just being white, he's actually reflecting and rejecting the intelligence from the creator. So how you gonna be friends with a motherfucker who biologically denies the cosmos?
Stop thinking like I'm doing something.
I almost forgot what I was doing. Oh man. So welcome to Send All Complaints to 915 3rd Street Live. This is a live podcast. Everything's unscripted. I do have like some ideas of what I want to talk about tonight, but I don't have there's no script. And I believe that's important to say because running around with no script can be dangerous for some. And those that do, I admire you the most because I too run around unscripted. Am I attached to this matrix? Physically, yes. Spiritually, nah. I do have my panel tonight. Tonight's show is also, I'm sorry, I'm covering too many bases too fast. It's almost like I just started. Welcome to tonight's show, where tonight we'll be talking about Standing on Business. This is our Standing on Business series. This is part 6. And I know tomorrow starts early voting, and every day that we're on, whether it's this show or the other show that we do, either one of those shows, the general question while voting is going on, early voting especially, is did you go vote today? Did you? So we're going to ask that starting tomorrow. And we're going to ask that Saturday. Did you go vote? If you didn't go vote, then everything that we've been saying to you is of no consequence. If you didn't go vote, then everything we've been sharing with y'all, every receipt, every number we flipped, every time I got into it, with whether it was Reddix, whether it was Urban Cast, whether it was Jock Roy, no matter who it was that I got into it with and was preaching the truth to power, it was all for naught because y'all didn't go out and vote. And I know that's a heavy piece of piece of weight to lay on somebody. But if you think about it, I mean, logically, you got people that was telling you all the answers that you needed to know. We was giving you answers to questions you didn't even know you needed to ask. And now that you have those answers, what are you going to do? Now that you know who screwed you over on your utilities, what are you going to do? Now that you know, look, I'm going to play the clip again. Now that you know that there is a chink in the armor of this administration with Jock Roy at the helm, listen.
True, and I can show you that, and I have those bills pulled for you guys, and I figure, Cynthia, you're going to know some of these folks and their names. I also have Mr. Hinton's bill and Mr. Stephen Chark's total history. I'm not going to put it under the scope. I had planned to, but I just don't. It's not about that, other than I have it here for you guys to see. And you're going to see that what is being reported and what these guys benefited from with Restore and how they pay their bills. It is a shame that they put that out and beat up people every day about it, and just nearly destroyed what Restore could do for people. But they didn't kill it.
And still beating up some of us.
Yeah, and still beating up some of them. You know, Restore didn't expend everything in it, in part.
You see, that's what I'm saying. That's who's at the head of this administration. Somebody that if you disagree with them, they will pull up your bill and show it to the world. And that guy, let me show you the links. Don't forget, Reddick's got up here and said he worked hard to sit at the table with the white man as a black man. Let me show you why. Because
I stick to the black history, though, because I am part of black history. Because now I'm in a position as a city councilman, and I have friends that we grew up in a bad neighborhood. My district that I represent in Alexandria is District 1, which it is the hardest and worst district that we have in the city of Alexandria. So I am one person that represents that district. Y'all been hearing about a lot of the killings that's been going on in the past couple of days? Anybody heard of that? I have to go in some of those areas and talk to some of those parents and talk to some of those kids who lost their parents. And they asked me, well, what can we do? What I'm telling them is in fourth grade, this is fourth grade, right? You have to listen in fourth grade. You have to listen third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth. You got to listen the whole time. It's a reason. All right. So we don't want to go to jail. There's licenses, there's permits, there's all kinds of things that I have to do in order to do my business. So I have to follow instructions. And one thing that a lot of entrepreneurs don't like is this time of the year, which is tax season. Because we have to pay taxes. And it's not fun whenever you making the money, and then at the end of the year, you have to give so much back. But that's part of the rules. And if you don't follow those rules, you end up in jail. And now you want to go to jail?
No, sir.
All right. So we don't want to go to jail. But I was doing my job, chasing after money. On stage and taking overseas. I take them to Mexico, Dominican Republic, Egypt, take them away from their parents. They be gone for like a year, 2, 3 years because they were being mad. Wake up in the middle of the night.
It's being paused for comedic time.
I come get you out of your bed, you don't know who I am.
And that's a neat place to stop, because
I was doing that.
you just admitted to kidnapping.
Then I threw you on a plane. And there was times where air marshals, and they would come and get ready to take me to jail, but luckily I had all my paperwork.
Because all it takes is some paperwork.
Where they thought I was kidnapping kids.
Because I had that kind of job.
But I was doing my job, chasing after money.
Yeah.
So I did that, shut it down, started washing cars.
That's a hell of a transition. That's a hell of a career change.
I wash cars, that's what I do for a living. That's my main thing, is a pressure washing business. I wash cars, I pressure wash houses.
Ain't no way y'all let that man sit up there in that damn schoolhouse and tell them kids about how he used to fake kidnap kids. That shit crazy to me. What's even crazier is that he's up for real. That's even crazier. Again, I want to welcome everybody to the show. If you're just now getting here, you haven't missed much. It's just my random rhetoric. Some things like this. Yeah, folks. If y'all didn't recognize who that was, which y'all probably didn't, you hear feedback. Okay. If y'all didn't recognize who that was carrying that flag for us, carrying the African Union 6th region flag, the big green one, that was my late friend, Henry Dorsey. Yeah. Henry HD, as I call him. Henry Dorsey is a good friend of mine, and God rest his soul. That was a brother that brought me to the light on a lot of things. And so that is in that spirit that I continue to do this work that we do. Because there's a lot of people that was helping me with it. And if I quit, I wouldn't be right for quitting. Also, don't ever say that there was never a group of people that wanted what was best for the community, because I dug up a promo, and I want you guys to hear the times and the dates and what this promo is about. Miss McCall, this and Brother Nat, this is throwback.
Calling all Black entrepreneurs and business owners located in Central Louisiana, the Central Louisiana Urban Businesses is looking to involve you and your business in the ever-expanding world of Black commerce. With over a quarter century's worth of business knowledge, we have the expertise and resources to take your business to the next level and beyond. We have a diverse background in the fields of customer service, community relations, branding and marketing, and much, much more. So if you're looking to have a positive impact on your community and become part of an incredible business network, we would like for you to join us January 24th, 2020 at the Martin Luther King Branch Library in Alexandria, Louisiana. The Central Louisiana Urban Businesses, putting our communities first by building Black businesses that last. Text the phrase, join the club, to 318-333-8553.
Hey, you can try texting that number now, but folks, that was well over 5 years ago. And I want you to look at it. If we were that involved 5 years ago, think about it with me. If we were that involved 5 years ago, and that was me, Mama, Nat, that was a lot of, it was quite a few folks that we started the Central Louisiana Urban Businesses, which grew into your Black chambers. Again, there will be no Alexandria Black Chamber of Commerce without there first being a Central Louisiana Urban Businesses. Remember that. And remember, we were at the front. We were at the front. She said, wow. Oh, yeah. Oh, no, I got some throwbacks. I went and found all my files. Look,
What's up, Opal Network? It's your boy X Grant again. Just here to thank you guys from the bottom of our hearts. You are the real reason the crown jewel shines. And together we are the real reason that they're talking about the Black agenda all across Central Louisiana. Sure, we play great music, but we also address the need to have frank and open conversations to address the needs of our community. I know it's hot right now, but we're just getting warmed up. The only place you can catch Universal Collective Network's longest running Black Agenda podcast, the Can We Be Frank show, is right here on 107.9 KCJM, The Joy.
So what possibly could they say about our interactivity in Alexandria? What say thee that we haven't done enough, or we haven't embedded ourselves in this community, whether it was doing the work of activism, whether it was doing the work of business and growing Black businesses, whether it was doing the work of standing on the business, whatever it was that we've done it and done it well and been doing it and ain't gonna stop doing it. So what you come across is a worthy adversary. That's what our ops find when they come across us. Oh, they're a worthy adversary. They're not to be trifled with. And we're not. I'm going to be honest with you. If we start pulling out receipts, it's a wrap. Just go home. Just wrap it up. Leave it alone. That's why we can say what we're saying with such absolute, not authority, but we can say it with absolute dignity that what we're saying is the gospel truth, because we lived it, we experienced it, we went through it, we built it. They tried to destroy it, so we had to fix it. They tried to kick it over, so we had to fix it again. Then we had to just move spots on the beach to build another sandcastle. We built that up, and somehow those some bitches came over there and kicked that one over too. Did we get mad? No, we didn't get mad. We just showed them how good at building castles we were. And then we started putting things on a solid foundation. When you start putting your work on a solid foundation, one that does not move, oh, they got a hard time coming in to kick that over. And that's what these shows are. That's what Send All Complaints to 625 was. That's what Send All Complaints to 915 is. That's what the Can We Be Frank show is. That's what all of our shows are. The business. And we give you guys as much instruction as we can, as much instruction as we can gather, and as much instruction as we can kind of glean from our experiences, from across experience. There's no better way of dealing with something or addressing something than finding somebody with lived experience. When you find someone that's willing to tell their story, that has lived experience, including in it, then you guys are gonna, I'm trying to tell you, that's what they taught me to do. They taught me to share my lived experience. They taught me to express what my lived experience is like. So if anything that I'm saying is wrong, I ask for corrections. But if what I'm saying is right and there's nobody standing beside me, then you guys, the people that are in the wrong are still wrong. And the people that are watching are still wrong. It takes action. 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 Let me share this with y'all real quick. There goes our good friend, Ms. Linda Bell. There goes our good friend, Ms. Linda Bell. And guess what she doing?
Inner Earth. Who are you voting for in the Alexandria City runoff elections?
Well, it's not Lee Rubin. Actually, I would be voting for Jules Green. It's time for change for the city of Alexandria.
I agree. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Who are you voting for in the Alexandria City runoff elections?
Well, it's not Lee Rubin. Actually, I would be voting for Jules Green. It's time for change for the city of Alexandria.
I agree. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right. You see? We like to hang around with stars. Hang around with cars. Yeah. 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 And before it's all said and done, they're going to know exactly what we were about, who came with us, if they don't already know, and what was going to happen and what we expected. And because they had to alter their plans, it altered their outcome. So in essence, what I'm saying is the work that we're doing is changing things. It is. It's got the right people worried. It's got the right people worried. So what you guys are doing, what you guys are participating in, is changing things. And it is. So keep that faith up and just know that what you're where you at is just it's a step closer to where you're trying to get to. I know that sounds kind of cliche, but I promise you it's the truth. So we talked about the traps. We talked about tomorrow. Tomorrow starts early voting. Please don't stew in your apathy. Don't stew in your apathy. Don't sit there and ain't nothing gonna change. Ain't nothing gonna change. They're gonna do what they want to anyway. They're gonna no, champ. That's not what we on. Remember, you are not a victim. You don't get taken advantage of. You know, they don't paint you. And if you do feel that way, you're the only one in the whole world that feels that way. Because the white folks damn sure don't feel that way about you. They don't think you're a victim at all. Matter of fact, they think you're the aggressor. So don't go out there with no victim's mindset, because they're gonna victimize your ass. And that's the truth. That is the truth. Hold on, I'm trying to get the clientele on. The cartel, they're a little skittish these days. Hold on. Hello, is this the cartel? Hello? Hello? Well, I don't. Okay. Oh, is this the cartel?
One of them.
Oh, okay. All right. All right. Hold on. Let me get you guys dialed in here. So yeah, I was just essentially giving folks a rundown of what they might not know. And this isn't about getting people to believe us. This isn't about getting people to trust our word. It's just more or less it's just a look inside. We are the watchmen on the wall. We're the clock. You can't never say the clock is wrong unless somebody set the clock wrong. But if you're one of those self-setting clocks, all you got to do is tap into the network and boom, you're going to know what time it is. And that's when we know what time it is. We tapped in. So don't feel like what we're saying is complete rubbish and it's inflammatory and it's incendiary and it's accusational or nothing like that. Only thing we're saying is what we know to be the truth. And there's only so many ways I can say that. Miss McCall, I know you have some things that you do want to say. So if you could, keep it brief.
Whatever. I'm not going to talk much tonight because you know why. But I do want to encourage each and everybody to go out and vote starting tomorrow. Because it's very important that if you guys really, really want to change, that you have to make sure that you're prepared for that change. We can get these people in office, but they can't do it by themselves. They're going to need support. And I noticed that lots of times when a city council person gets in office, a lot of us, we get them in and then we don't think we need to continue doing the work after we get them in. There's plenty of work to be done. There's people that need to be in positions of support when it comes to helping them find the issues that are going on in the neighborhoods and in the communities. Some people can even take up the mantle of facilitating town hall meetings. They have 4 years to be in there. So just imagine how many town hall meetings you can have in 4 years and how many problems that can be solved in 4 years. I want to say this too. Even though these are city council persons and they are relying on the voting of other city council members, a lot of times things can be done without taking it to the city council. Understand that. So when something gets voted down in one way, there's always a solution to handle that. But you first have to want to be able to create an ordinance. The council person that you vote in has to be able to be able to create an ordinance or author an ordinance so that something, whatever that situation, that problem, can have a solution. And if they decided to vote against it, there are other ways of doing stuff. You don't always have to think that a city councilman cannot do something on their own. They can. As long as it's legal, it can be done. So now don't ever think that, oh, well, they voted it down. That's it. No, it's not it. You find other ways. You're a city council person who has, whether we want to admit that or not, they have a certain power. And they literally need to use that power. Don't just wait till you go to a city council meeting every 2 weeks. You can make stuff happen during that time. And we know that it can happen because it's been done before. So whoever gets into these seats, don't think that because somebody votes down your ordinance that nothing is going to work. That problem won't get solved. It can get solved.
Well, to put some of that into perspective, a lot of things didn't get solved and a lot of resolutions probably didn't get wrote because of the second. When you introduce a resolution, it has to be seconded in order for it to be put on the agenda. But now we have a system. Now you got people up there that's going to second each other.
Well,
they're going to have to really fight to turn down what black folks need with those people up. If you get Malcolm and Jules up there,
but I'm saying if they don't get those 4 votes, if that one councilman don't get the second or the 4 votes, doesn't mean it ends there.
Oh no, it doesn't. It doesn't end there. Matter of fact, that's a good place to start because all the research has been done.
Exactly.
And hey, brother, now how you doing, brother? He came on, went on mute. I understand. He on mute. So yeah, that's the long and short of it, folks. Because at the end of the day, those people up there, you didn't have a Jules up there that was going to push the issue of author ordinances. You didn't have a Malcolm up there that was going to try to check people and keep Jock Roy in check and honest. So, and you had a Cynthia up there who's no dogging on her, but she's completely new to politics. And all those people, keep this in mind also, all those people were taught by Jock. They were taught the budget by Jock. They were taught the processes by Jock. And yeah, they could have read on their own, but Jock is the one that kept on feeding them. You got to work with the mayor. You got to work with the administration. And the one thing I always wanted to ask is, who does the administration work with? Where does the administration come down off they high horse and try to, do something for the councilman or with the councilman? Everything has to be about what Jock Roy wants.
Exactly.
Maybe that's why we so messed up.
The administration.
Maybe that's why we so messed up. Maybe the administration just wants a lackluster turnout for voting from the black community. They want a lackluster turnout for any runoffs. They want a lackluster turnout for your council meetings. They don't want you to say nothing. And I'm just pointing out the facts here. A, they don't want you saying nothing in a city council meeting. B, when you do get up there and say something, you got to worry about getting beat like Mr. Cornelius. When you do say something and you're trying to gain understanding, their first inclination is to shut you down and shut you up and sit you down. You can't say nothing about the budget. You can't say nothing about the utilities. And when you do find ways to ask questions like what Miss Linda Bell do, they'll tell you that they don't have to answer. When the fuck are y'all gonna get people that have to answer to y'all? When are you going to get people up there that represent y'all? Because right now, that council represents Jock Roy. They don't represent the people. They might represent districts 4 and 5. I'll give them that. Because them seem to be the only 2 districts that anybody ever really just worried about. But when are you going to get people up there that's going to say, no, damn it, this ain't for my community. This ain't helping us. What can we do? When can we start doing stuff that's going to help our community? Jock, I know you write all the ordinances. Trey, I know you write all the ordinances. When are you guys going to start writing ordinances that's going to help districts 1, 2, and 3? Because all the ordinances that you've written over the last 2 years have all been things for district 4 and 5. And for y'all to sit there and accept that as representation, that's the reason we saying what we saying. You don't got to listen to us. You really, really, honestly don't. It's highly recommended, but you really don't. But I know they are listening because the last 5 shows that we done did, ever since I turned this over to Sindog and Place at 915 3rd Street, we getting over 1,000 views every show. And that might not be much to brag about for everybody else that's on this interweb, but for us and for me in our little small corner of Facebook, that means a lot. Them 1,000 votes that could swing a damn election. We got enough people listening that could swing an election. So they got to give us our goods, and especially our credit, because there's not a lot of credible people out there. There's not a lot of credible people out there. There's not a lot of credible news. I'm trying to figure out what happens when these people lose. Is Reddick still gonna bust his ass like he say he been working? I've been working hard for y'all. Is he still gonna work hard for everybody when he's out of office? What about Lee Rubin? Well, you know what Lee Rubin said. I don't even need this job. So you know he could give a fuck about y'all when he get out of office. Because he really don't give a damn now. And if Reddick is going to all of a sudden care about District 1 once he get out of office and want to do all this extra stuff once he out of office, how come he didn't do it when he was in office? Because what I don't fear it, what I see happening is they're going to come up with a lot of grand ideas. And Jock's going to play a part. And Jock's going to be like, well, if Reddick was still up here, we could have got this done. That's what they're going to do. That's what they're doing now. Let me show you. You guys can go to, let me see. I hate I don't got no keyboard. I got to do all this stuff with my fingers. Let's see if it'll pop up. There it goes. Let me show y'all this. Oh, yeah, this is perfect. Right here. Now, if y'all look at this right here, this Project Flight to Blight. First off, let me tell you how I know who's involved. Because it's always some goddamn catchy hashtag. And then it only stays in hashtag if all the words are together. It only stays a hashtag if all the words are together. And who else does this? See, who else does this? Oh, this is all Redix. It's got Redix written all over it. It's got Redix written all over it. And now we can go back in time and remember when I told y'all that Jock was going to use all whatever resources he had to keep Redix on that council. And I want you guys to understand why. Why is Jock Roy batting for Redix Washington? Because Redix Washington don't read. Redix Washington. Oh, hold on. Let me go back. Let me show you why.
Plan for black people, not all people, but black folks. Ask me that question. You want to know what is your plan for black people, not all people, but black folks. Every day I get up, I thank the Lord for waking me up and for giving me another opportunity to be great again. And every day that I wake up, this skin color does not change. It's always gonna be black. It get darker some days, but it's always gonna be black. If I'm not trying to better it for the black man, then something is really wrong with me. I can't help but want better for a black man. So I'm striving for the black man to be able to sit at the table, because I know what the person that's asking this question, I'm gonna give them what they want. Me as a black man is striving, and I work hard to sit at the table with the white man. And I'm gonna sit at the table with the white man as a black man. And I'm gonna work with the white man as a black man. But I want not just the black man to have better, I want the white man to have better too. Because we gotta work side by side if we wanna make it better. So I'm not doing it with blinders on and with tunnel vision. To me, this is me speaking. And this is gonna get some backlash. But if all you worry about is the black man, then don't open your mouth when the white man only worry about the white man. I have a problem with that. Because if the white man just wanted for him, I'm gonna have a problem with the white man. And if a black man just wants for him, I got a problem with him too. Because it takes all of us working together. No matter what color a person is. Now, I ain't no fool. Sometimes he gonna need me. Sometimes I'm gonna need him. And we gonna have to work together. And sometimes he might not like me. Sometimes I might not like him. But if this is our goal, we're gonna work together.
See, and I only bring that up again, folks, and you got to see where I'm going with this. Because the guy on your screen, Billy Nungesser, your lieutenant governor, is the guy that Redix models himself after. This old fat white Republican. And this is who Redix was busting his ass to get to the table with. And he's still not at that table. What I have here is they had a Leaders Against the Litter convention the other day. Leaders Against Litter. Now, my issue is they're talking about litter. We've been talking about brown water and air quality for the last 12 years. They're talking about litter, and we've been talking about cameras in our community for at least the last year and a half, 2 years. They're talking about litter, Let me show you some of the colored faces that showed up to this meet. Any of them people look familiar? Let me zoom in. Let me zoom in. Who? Oh, we all know who that is. We 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 know who this is. I mean, come on, folks. Who all showed up to this meeting? Who all had the nerve to smile on this grandiose day? Who was happy to be here? Who didn't get shit done for their community this day? Who didn't get shit done for their city this day? And y'all talk to us like we don't know what's going on. I was gonna say we stupid, but you know, they got their opinions of us. But we're not the ones with the elected seats sitting on the council and sitting in the mayor's seat and not doing shit on a daily basis for the city. It's not our job to do anything for the city. The fact that we provide this information is a great community effort. But we're not elected to do shit. And these people on some elected fucking world tour to get this great, oh man, they just want to be accepted. And that's why politics in Alexandria doesn't hold any actual weight. Because y'all want to smile and kick it. Y'all accept shit like this. Citizens of Alexandria, hold on, let me show you this. The water department. The EPA has recently begun requiring all water systems to perform a system-wide survey to determine if there are any lead service lines in our system. We followed the EPA guidelines and approved a methodology to conduct the survey, and the areas sampled were the older areas of Alexandria, construction before 1986, and the addresses tested were generated randomly. At this time, no lead service lines have been found in our sampling system. We'll be sending out notifications to everyone explaining that your home may have an unknown service line material, how to identify the line material, steps you can take to reduce exposure. What? So what happened to the brown water? You said, I'm sorry. Anybody can jump in if you want to. I'm just looking at this from a whole different perspective now, because it's the playing in your face part that I'm not okay with. It's the playing in your face part. They got brown water, but there's nothing wrong with the water. So they say. I don't understand it. And that's your local government. In a nutshell. Doing a bunch of stuff you don't understand for no reason that you can't comprehend, because it really ain't. Let me tell you what else I picked up on today. Let me do this, the PDFs from my computer. Upload files. Oh, okay, hold on. What we got here? Well, we got a Google slide presentation from how long ago? 2020 almost. There goes another one of the superheroes. Y'all can come off mute. I just wanted to get the intro out the way and kind of lay down the guidelines. Brother Nat is here. Miss Summers here. Miss Candace here. There's a few people here. I got to add that to the stage. Hold on. Let me take off. Do this. Oops. This right here. I got to move this banner out the way. So, this is about the gerrymandering, right? At least 1 year prior to the first primary election for council members following each federal census, the city council shall by ordinance alter, change, or rearrange the 5 council districts so that each council district shall remain as the, okay, boom. District 5, before 2020 was this all these districts were disproportionate, and the average should have been this and that. You see, now you're getting into some deeper stuff, right? Register voters by demographics. You feel me? And I'll make this available to people that want to see it. Consideration criteria for redistricting: population, area, vicinity, registered voters, residences, businesses, age, race, economic level, political affiliation. So that was the presentation that Mr. Porter did that I found. And like I said, there's no more information we can provide you with to arm you to have you any better in a better position than where you are with your choice to vote right now. Now, something that we can look at. Go ahead.
Well, what I'm seeing, Tavares, can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you.
People got a question. Why would folks from outside of Alexandria try to come help people inside of Alexandria? They don't have no organization that can stand up for them. But the people don't want to stand up for themselves. Once you've been whipped so long, it's kind of hard to stand up and try to fight against the system. And then you'll fight against somebody else that's fighting against the system for you. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They'll tell you that they're good white folks. Don't be talking back to them white folk like that. He's a good man. He give me a cup of corn whiskey when I got
Pinewood floors.
You see, so as long as you have them people, and them people to tell other people, don't listen to them. They don't know what they're talking about. They don't say they lying. They just say they don't know what they're talking about. Well, show me what we're lying at. Show me where you voted for affordable housing that people can buy. Okay, Lee Rubin, show me when you tried to vote against raising utility rates. You can't show that. And now the influential Negroes are gone, and they left them people to die.
Yep.
And the influential Negroes ain't even turned back and say, hey, I think I did y'all wrong. Let me come back and fight for y'all. The influential Negroes let them sit there and drown in flooding water. The influential Negroes ain't saying nothing about it. The same influential Negroes that told everybody, hey, we need to get them old men out of office. Old black men out of office. What they are now? I don't see them saying, well, hey man, Red, you wrong. I don't see them complaining about no flooding now. We shouldn't support nothing that the influential Negro do. We should starve them out. That's how I think.
That's what Dr. Claus said.
If you mess up, that's what he said. That's where I get it from. Starve him out. He shouldn't be able to watch cars. He shouldn't work for free. You know, but as long as you got them kind of people telling folks not to listen to the people that's got not information, got facts. They're showing you black and white what they vote for. If you don't believe black and white, what else do you believe in? You know, so I don't, and people are just scared. And it's getting to the point where I'm thinking like this. Why should I keep on fighting for somebody who don't want to fight for themselves?
Yeah.
That's the point I'm getting to. Why do I got to keep on standing up for somebody that don't want to stand up for their own self? It's a couple of us But guess what? Nobody don't want to be attached to us in the public. Everybody wants to be attached to you in the dark. But when the lights come on,
and we are nobody's ugly significant other.
you see what I'm saying? When the lights come on, they're looking crazy. Ain't nobody with us. But we don't mind. But where's all this stuff? If you can't support me in the public, don't worry about doing it in the private.
Man, I gotta tell you, I don't know. I've never had such a support system as what we've cultivated between us. We talk often. We go through a lot with each other through our regular lives. Y'all been there when I lost my grandma, when I lost my auntie, and y'all been there. And I don't know how else to just explain it. And we've been there for each other. We've been there through triumphs and tragedies and through all our little endeavors and everything. And that's what I'm saying. You got to have people around you that's gonna be around you all when everything all the chips is down. Kanye had a song. He said, she said, when it all falls down. Who's gonna come around when it all falls down?
Yeah.
So,
but Alexander has to wake up as a whole. You know,
good time, but it's bad time.
Yeah, good time and bad time.
Yeah.
And not just around Winterfell when I need $250K from you.
Yeah, because they are suffering. And if they don't ever wake up and get off their ass, then their kids gonna suffer. And then the kids seeing that their mamas and daddies didn't do nothing, so their grandkids gonna suffer.
Now what?
And that's a bad.
That's as the people call it, they call it a slippery slope.
Yeah, that's a bad thing you want to do. You know, and I just don't see. I mean, who could the black folks run to when a black man get beat for no reason in Alexandria? Who could they run to?
I know. Now this is from personal experience. I know Reverend Randy Harris pulled up. I know we don't got an NAACP. I know I was there. I know Miss Destiny. There's people in our circle that were there. Mm-hmm. But then again, like I said, it really only boils down to who's doing the work, not who just show up, who there to do the work.
Yeah. And right now, Tavares, there's no platforms doing what you're doing. There's no platform doing what Miss Salita doing.
There's no platform doing what you're doing. Go on now.
I just be talking. I be talking. No, whoever listen.
Come on, somebody. Come on, somebody.
But see, the thing is, we take the platform and we try to get the information out to folks. And I guess this is not mess. They really don't want to pay attention.
But it is mess.
If it's not well, what I mean by mess is if it's not a fight, if it's not a sex video, they don't pay attention.
It could be.
Ain't that something?
I mean, I don't know. We ain't uncovered everything yet.
I will. And for his ratings, he broke.
Are we saying broke as in like are we talking about emotionally broke or spiritually broke or financially broke or
spiritually and financially broke? He can't run no campaign no more. Everybody done disappeared. No more fancy videos.
He should get his kinfolk. He should get his kinfolk to come help him like they did the first time.
No more fancy videos. No more cars. Only thing he's doing now is jockeying. Notice, Reddick is going to everything that happens like he got something to do with it. Remember they did that thing over there behind Brink? That was the police jury. That did that.
What?
They didn't have nothing to do with it. The drainage issue behind Brink.
Uh-huh.
He up there like he got something to do with it. And listen, everything he's doing is outside of his district. Everywhere he going outside of his district.
Yep.
Well, folks Council need to pay attention to that.
Maybe he trying to be the mayor one day.
Huh?
He don't need District 2 to become mayor.
I don't know.
Yeah, he don't need District 2. He just need District 4 and 5 to show up, and probably like maybe half of District 3 and half of District 1. And he just might be able to be the mayor.
He could be a state representative, so
Oh, damn. Why you got to bring that up, bro?
So, well, I'm going back and listen.
Okay. Y'all know I like to break the show up. Ouch. Let me burn myself. I like to break the show up. I did burn myself in a little bitty pieces and give y'all something entertaining to watch in the middle parts. So let me find out what I got here. Hold on.
Things the black church is gonna get mad at me for saying, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Man, y'all check this out.
We've got to let this young lady say something.
Lauren George, Western Episcopal District, San Francisco, Pastor Zan. So I guess I'm the youngest person speaking today. That's fine. 23, full-time college student, athlete, only black student in my department, and I'm missing school today. I'm missing track practice today, but I really did want to be here just to see what the body's doing. And one thing that I've noticed being a part of Zion is sometimes I forget church. I think it's a governmental system. It seems like everything's about votes and everything's about titles and positions. If you looked at me in my jeans and my big oversized t-shirt, you probably wouldn't think that I was involved in every aspect of my local church. But I am. But I don't care. It doesn't matter. The titles don't matter to me. But one thing I noticed, it matters to a lot of people. And what should matter most is God's heart for the people that you're involved with. And I can speak from experience. I am not a hypocrite. One thing that, for me, it breaks my heart to see people care more about a title than they care about the people. And I'm going to be honest, God don't care about your dress, your pearls. He don't care about your suit, your title, you running for whatever office. He don't even know you. He knows me, though, because my heart is broken for him. And I couldn't leave this meeting without saying this because the Holy Spirit had me on a chokehold. But I think that the church overall is missing the fear of God. And that's too important not to mention, because we forget God will raise up somebody else. He did it for David and Saul, and so many people are in all these positions, and they're in these offices, and they have all this power, but they don't have no Holy Ghost power. But David, he didn't have no title. He was in the field. I'm in the field. I'm at school. I'm at work. But at 3 a.m., I'm praying for my church members. I'm praying for the body. And God does not care about these meetings. He doesn't care about this stuff. He cares about your heart. So I admonish everyone here under the sound of my voice to reevaluate, who are you serving, yourself or are you serving God? That's it.
That's how we roll in San Francisco.
Can we get her a license?
Listen, the Bible says that in the last days he will pour out of his spirit upon all flesh, and that your sons and your daughters shall what? Prophesy. Just like that young lady did. She said she skipped school and practice and all that just to be at that church so she can give that word. Listen, I don't think it was just a word for that particular body. I believe that it was a word for the body of Christ at large. People are so frustrated with these pastors, evangelists, apostles, prophets, and teachers using their titles and usurping their authority because they have a title over people, not walking in love. Listen, God trusted you enough to give you a title so that you can be the example on how love is supposed to be distributed, on how people are supposed to operate, not the opposite. And what that young lady saw was people being title driven. We are not like the world. When God anoints you with a title, that's a huge responsibility for you to walk as an example for the body of Christ, how to walk in the fruit of the Spirit. It's amazing how we can love the one, before we get the title. But then when we get the title, we forget about the one who gave it. Man, let them that have ears to hear, let them hear. That's a great responsibility.
Y'all wouldn't believe this. Hold on. Y'all would not believe this. Hold on. There you go. Y'all would not believe this. You know they kicked me off? That's right, folks. They kicked me off the internet completely. Ain't that something? I lost everybody on the call? Hold on. I'm going to call y'all back. Give me just 1 second. Dirty Sabinas. Hold on. There we go. There we go. Somebody got a hold of my Wi-Fi address and kicked me off the internet. What? Oh yeah. You off of live too? Nuh-uh, I'm back on live now. I got it back. Oh. But yeah, they tried. They tried. They definitely tried me this evening. Hello? There you go. Yeah. So that just happened. That's weird. Anyway, I'm glad I was playing the video when it happened.
I thought we was still on. I told him we were still on.
Yeah, no, it dropped out. I might only have 2 viewers now, but I know there will be others. So yeah, I wanted to. Did y'all hear the young lady?
Yeah, we heard her. I was okay. What was she basically just doing? What?
Okay, so she was she's one of the youth people that work in the church, and basically they were having a big church meeting, and she was talking about how these people are getting these positions for titles and forgetting about the people. How they got people in the church that's just going after the title in the church and not doing the work of the church.
Yeah, I got that. Okay.
And what's that guy name that just interviewed Ray J? Jamal Bryant?
Yeah. What happened with him?
You ready for this, guys? Listen.
But he's definitely been talking to another woman, and it's clear conversations. And if you'd like to see him, I got him in my little receipt book right here.
I don't have any reaction to that.
Well, then you can just go ahead and have this. He's always asking about her schedule. He's sending screenshots to her whenever he's doing his little church tours.
How do you know those texts are real?
You want me to call out his phone number? I'm sure she knows what his phone number is. 410 Jamal Bryant.
Is that his phone number?
Yeah, that's his phone number.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Does that upset you if that's his phone number she just said?
I don't believe anything that comes out of Monique's mouth or anything that she has in her binder. I'm glad she's done some bindering.
She said, for me, it's not a good idea to travel to Atlanta if you're working on putting your family back together again. He says, what are you talking about? She says, what am I talking about? And she screenshots the actual article. Are we?
You see what I'm saying, folks? It's people that get in these positions that got hidden agendas. And Jamal Bryant is one of them. But that's neither here nor there. Yeah, folks. And it's time that we start doing the actual work of people that believe in spirituality and these religion, and you start outing these folks that are bringing your what do you want to call it? Your organization down. You got to start calling out these folks that's bringing your organization down. And that organization can mean anything from the elected positions in the church, in the city. You got to sit some of them people down. Everybody don't belong in the pulpit. Everybody don't belong on the dais. Everybody doesn't belong as a city councilman. That's not everybody's path. Everybody don't belong up there. And just know anybody shouldn't be up there no way. So I ain't saying stop electing nobodies. I'm just saying start electing people that actually can do the work.
Has been forced to.
Oh.
NASA.
Oh yeah. Okay. I got some off the deep end stuff that I like to talk about, but that'll come at a later date. There's other things going on. Let me see something. There's other things going on. I need you guys to look up the Black Project 2025. That is something that's growing so fast that they can't keep up. They've got from what I've been hearing is they've got a Discord set up, so you can and they've got they're hiring people. They've got like a $70,000 as far as donations go. What they're trying to do is they're trying to rebuild. They're trying to redo the Green Book essentially, and they're trying to consolidate Black dollars so they circulate amongst other Black folks, and that's nationwide because we live in a place in the era now where you can order everything you want online. So they're talking about your toiletries, they're talking about your food items, all the stuff that you can replace out of dealing with these major companies. All the stuff that you can replace if they've got it in that network, which hasn't been built yet. They're still building it. So we don't know what it's going to turn into. And really, it's up to us to make it turn into what we need it to turn into. And I know it's going to be hard to get that point across, but it's going to be very, very important coming towards the near future that we circulate money amongst ourselves. Because I guarantee you that's exactly what they're going to do. Those tax cuts don't come to nobody but them. Whenever they do stuff on paper, whenever Trump did whatever he did on paper, that only worked for the people that it worked for. It didn't work for everybody. This is something that may very well be something in favor of everybody. And it's gonna create the Black community that we should have had in the first place, I feel. And that's just by me doing the research that I'm doing. But feel free. I encourage y'all to Google Black Project 2025. Young lady named Anaya, 22 years old. 22 years old, and just blurted out this idea. And she said it out loud, and it's taken off. They've got over 50, I think they've got 70,000 in funds over the last week and a half. They've gotten over 50,000 new members, or people that are applying to be a part of it. So it don't take much, because it's going to take all of it, but it's going to be Black centered, and that's going to be the bottom line. The Stone Cold said so. But yeah, right.
I don't know if anybody heard this from the national level. Have about Matt Gaetz as the nominee for the Attorney General.
Why? Why did he step down?
Oops, I'm sorry, you guys. I accidentally touched my camera. He stepped down because he was saying all the stuff that he's done with 17-year-old girl and all that it might affect the election. Wow. Election. I'm sorry. I meant to say the coming of the, him going into office. But it's much, much more than that. And it's going to be more his cabinet that he has. Half of them are not going to make it through. Regardless of how we're looking at the Republican Party, a lot of them do not want this going on. They do not want a bunch of clowns, excuse me for saying it, in that White House. And the crazy part about it is this has happened before where they didn't, confirm a lot of people. Remember how they stalemated Obama when he was in office with all his offices that he needed to get filled, and they kept on rejecting everything he was doing? Well, it hasn't changed. It's just strange that since Biden been in there, none of his people were not non-confirmed. Everybody got in there that needed to get in there. But this is a different thing here. And because it's on the national level, people say, we shouldn't be concerned with the national level. But coming from Louisiana, we should be concerned because we have a mayor. Not a mayor. I'm sorry. We have a governor who, if Donald Trump would pass gas, our governor would be right there to probably put it in a bag. That's how it is we're dealing with. So we can't ignore. We have to be concerned about what's going on the local level. We also have to be concerned about what goes on in the state level. And we also have to be concerned about the national, because we have a mayor who's actually wanting to see a lot of things happen that Donald Trump wants to happen. So we really do have to watch that, because when you say give it over to the states, we have a lot of lunatics and crazy people running our states. So when you giving them a lot of power, that can turn into something detrimental for the people of that state. So so he's gone. The guy who's for Department of Defense, he's under scrutiny right now. And I think the young lady, I forgot what her position is, she's going to be under scrutiny next. So they're weeding them out because they already know, regardless of, like I said earlier, Republicans, they don't want certain things to be a distraction while they're in that office. So it's going to be a lot more people not being confirmed, regardless of them being nominated. They're not going to be confirmed. And that's a good thing. I was talking earlier about that song, Tavares, Never Thought the Leopard Would Eat My Face.
Mm-hmm.
And I posted it up because these people are talking and saying all these things, and okay, all right. And sometimes just let them talk, because we already know that they're not saying anything that's making sense. And you guys, let's look at this too. And this is on the national and local level. We can be careful of who we chose to put into a seat, but we also, as human beings, have to really not only just vet them, but know enough about them to know whether or not they're the right people. What I've realized is a lot of these Trump supporters, they don't even understand politics. They don't understand why they're voting for the person they're voting for. They can't name a policy, a procedure, a law, an ordinance of nothing that this person that they're wanting to support. So when you look at it from that standpoint, why are you really supporting that person? It's got to be something that you guys have in common. Well, what I overall found out, what I conceived, is that in America, we live in such a racist atmosphere and foundation, because we have to say what it is. We've been raised on a racist foundation, is that it's racism. Because when you talk to a lot of people and you ask them, they can't tell you anything Donald Trump has done. They can't say anything. And when you question them, they want to get smart and get mad. But I just asked a simple question. So you're supporting him because of what? So they say that the prices are too high, groceries too high, gas too high, and that's the reason why they support him. Really, y'all? Really? And you think he's going to change that when he literally told you that he's going to increase the tariffs on goods and services that come through from other countries? He's already said that. So what are you talking about? And having to explain to them a lot of people didn't even know what a tariff was. So you're explaining to them what a tariff is, and you have to explain to them that it's going to affect you directly. They don't understand that because we don't produce anything. And I'm saying that not on the mindset that black folks don't, we don't, but on a mindset that America doesn't have a lot of producing products. They don't, because you know why? They send everything overseas to be produced. So because of that, that hurts us. So one person was saying, well, I'd be glad when manufacturers come back. And then I had to tell them, I said, I see you don't even understand how capitalism works. They want to get as much as they can with spending as little money as they have to when you manufacture. If I can send a product overseas and have it being manufactured overseas for pennies on the dollar, do you really think that I'm going to bring back a big factory and hire all these people and deal with a bunch of unions and all? Do you really think I'm going to spend money doing that? No. They're already trying to stop overtime. They don't want salaried people to have overtime. They don't want to pay them for overtime. So it just shows you the common stuff. We can tell that it's about racism because they're saying that you're not even worth overtime. And he already said he wants to dismantle the unions. And I'm not saying this, something for, I want us to understand how that affects your livelihood. Because in that case, your boss can come in and say, hey, pack your stuff up. And they don't even have to give you a reason to. And you don't have anybody to fight for you. Because when you get rid of a lot of the unions, those are the ones who keep people in jobs. And again, sometimes unions can have some cons about them where they keep the worst people in there because they're members of the union. You know what I'm saying? But at least you have something you can fall back on. But when you don't have that, and he dismantles and give all the states the rights and the power to disarm all of us with the power that we already have, that's something you got to really look at. So why are you really supporting this person? Why did you go to the booth and put this person in place? It's beyond the economy. It has nothing to do with the economy because they don't even understand the economy and how it works. So really, why did you want Donald Trump in office? Why did you want Jeff Landry in office? Because I know a lot of people in Louisiana do not understand his policies and the laws. They just voted. HB2 is a bill they just voted on. That's the bill where they're going to allow our children to be locked up in an adult prison. I guarantee you, a lot of people who put Jeff Landry in office had no idea that he was going to do that or even understand that. They want to build more prisons. They call them, quote unquote, juvenile centers because they want to see our children locked up. We talked about that the other night.
And the Renaissance?
That's what they want to see. Yeah, when we talk about Renaissance, any type of juvenile center, they're not talking about rehabbing anybody. Because you know why? Because the bottom line is these private industries, the private prison system has to be fed. It is a huge, big monster that has to be fed, and states have to feed them. And we, as just the common folks, have to understand that. Because if you look at Louisiana as a whole, what is their product? Their product was oil, but it's now our children and our young Black men. That's the product. And people wanted him in because of what? What did you think he was going to change? And he hasn't. He's made it worse. And he hasn't even been in there a good, year? Well, he's been in there maybe a year now. Maybe 2.
Oh, you talking about what you call it?
What?
The governor.
Yes, I was talking about the governor because it starts with him.
Yeah.
Because he's an avid Trump supporter. So whatever Trump does, he's going to mimic it, and other states around the United States is going to do the same thing. So if we can't change anything, if we think we can't change anything, we at least need to have the knowledge and know what's going on. I'm sorry, I went off on that tangent.
Nah, I mean, it makes sense. At the end of the day, you know, it's important that people realize that a lot of things is based on a preventative basis. A lot of things can be prevented.
Exactly. If we just have knowledge of it,
No.
I think, and then having the knowledge and understanding what it is. Yeah, because they make it complicated on purpose so that you won't. So, in a way, you know what? Maybe America needs to break. Maybe it does need to break in order for it to be fixed again. But the sad part about it is we're caught in the middle of all of this.
No, we're not.
Innocent people. Well, we're not in a sense, but we are, because we are part of America. We're not running nowhere. We're not going nowhere. We're not leaving the country. So we will be part of whatever needs to happen.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't.
Yeah, we're going to have to be, in order for the change to take place, they're not going to be able to do it without us. And I don't care who voted for Trump or who think that he got all this power. But if the people don't go along with it, he can't do anything.
Exactly.
But that's up to the folks. That's up to the people. And you know, it's real easy for us to look at things from a higher perspective because, like we always say, Alexandria is a microcosm of what's happening in America. So if you want to know if America's still racist, just look at Alexandria. Alexandria is a good representation of America. Over incarcerated Black folks, bad water, bad resources, low job wages, minorities being taken complete advantage of, ghetto communities that the government don't want to fix. Not that they can't fix it, they literally don't want to fix it. They'll fix Johnny Downs before they fix anything in our community. So that's just what America is overall. And unfortunately, that's just the truth. America is Alexandria and vice versa. The one thing that we can say is that we are a part of the pushback. And I don't understand why it's such a big issue that we are here to push back against this local government that y'all got, when all good things come from if you let Jock do what he wants to, you're going to end up in Jock's Alexandria, not your Alexandria. Like if Reddicks keep going down, if y'all put them back, y'all going to end up in Jock's District 1, not Reddick's District 1, and not your District 1. Y'all going to end up in Jock's District 1. He's going to shape and mold this city, or continue to, the same way he's been doing for the last 20 years. Looking for little pockets of money that he can go steal and put in his pocket, allegedly. But as long as you guys aren't saying nothing, they're going to keep doing what they're doing. You guys got to talking so much that they had to make a rule for you to shut up in a city council meeting. That's how much what you got to say matters. They had to make a rule to get you to shut up in a city council meeting.
And they also had to change the rule, even though it's not really a change rule, but they had to pull out something in that homeroom charter to change you having comments. You can only make comments and not ask questions. If you notice, that's how they changed everything. You can't comment. You can't ask questions. Everything is a comment now.
If you leave, if you leave them people up there on that city council, ain't nothing gonna change.
That's right.
If y'all leave them people up there on that city council, as it stands, nothing's gonna change. If you leave, if you don't inject a little bit of, and that's what I like to think of Reverend Randy Harris. If y'all don't inject a little chaos into what's going on over there at that police jury, you're gonna continue not getting served. You're gonna continue not and righteous chaos nonetheless. Because if there's questions that the people have, why don't the people have the answers? 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 Why don't they have the answers? Why does it take us to go looking and digging and pulling up stuff to get answers when they got a whole city council meeting that takes place every 2 weeks where the people can go talk directly to the people that they elected?
Doesn't make any sense. And them being in charge and trying to hold, what kills me is this accountability and transparency. It doesn't make any sense to use those words when you don't actually have action behind them. You know what I'm saying? They haven't been transparent. They haven't been anything. They haven't been using integrity. Nothing. None of that.
Okay, wait a minute. So, and I'm not cutting you off. I don't want to cut your what they say. I don't want to cut your shine down, sister. Give me a minute. Let me cook for a second. If Reddix is over here running on transparency, unity, and whatever else he running on, what is he insinuating? That before he came along, there was no transparency?
Well, they've been hollering transparency for a long time. It just hasn't happened.
So what does it mean? What does transparency mean to them?
It might not mean the same.
It's just a cliche.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. That's right. It's a cliche.
It's a catchphrase.
It sounds good to say. In other words,
during campaign season.
Yeah, because transparency is when Mr. Fullerton was in office and they were having the APD investigated. Transparency is when they realized that they were paying too much on that on those bonds, and they actually got somebody to come in and audit the bonds and get them down. That's transparency. That wasn't something they kept from us. They let us know that they were doing that. Okay. Because they saw a need that, wait a minute, you're gouging this, you're taking from the people, and it's not benefiting the people. So that was transparency. It was transparency when a lot of stuff was happening. It was transparency when Mr. Porter told them about Martin Park flooding and what happened in Martin Park. It was transparency when the people came up and complained about being flooded out. And your mayor made the comment is, we need to just let them, why don't they just sell their houses and move out? that was his transparency. That's
when did he say that?
Felt. He said that when Martin Park flooded real bad. I forgot what time that was. What
so
year
what?
That was.
So is he just the natural flood denier?
He basically just said that they need to since they can't build their houses up, that they might just need to sell them. That's another alternative. Mm-hmm. Remember when Ballard got down out the DS and went and
he went and hugged that crying woman?
Yeah, I think it was.
And
that
she was
day.
crying. Oh yeah.
I said, look at that Karen crying. Yeah, that's
clear tears. Them clear people tears is a mother.
Yeah, it's not anymore. But that's another subject, another time. But yeah, I think it was around that time. But Miss Dumars kept on coming up there. Remember Deborah Dumars, which was a friend of my sister's.
Uh-huh.
One of my sisters. They were, which she's a nurse. She was a nurse at the VA too. When she came up there, she lived in Martin Park, and she told how many times her house had flooded and how they lost everything. And they looked at her like she was alien or something. Right there in Martin Park. So what I'm saying is transparency is how they really feel. Think about when General Honore came and told them that they needed to set up a lab that directly deal with the people in lower third area who was affected by the Creosote. They stood there and looked at him like he had 5 horns on his head. That was transparency. They was being honest. They really didn't care. That's transparency right there. You know what I'm saying? They didn't pretend. They really didn't care.
Yep.
So yeah, transparency is a word that is very much so. Accountability is another word that's thrown around, which we know they don't. There's no accountability for the things they do.
How can you get accountability when you don't even let people ask questions?
Yeah. There's no checks and balance. That's the issue.
Well, no, I'm doing that on purpose. I didn't intend for there to be any checks and balances. I just said that I said that there's a system in place for checks and balances. Now, I didn't say I was a part of that system or that I was participating in it.
Exactly. So yeah, but I think the fight is just begun, and I think this is the time that people need to fight harder. Doesn't matter who's sitting in that city council seat, really. To be honest with you, for me, it doesn't matter. The fight still has to be fought.
Mm-hmm.
There's a battle that needs to still be fought, and the people cannot let up. The people cannot get lax, and the people cannot continue to think we got all the answers when the answers they have them, because they live it every day. They're the victims. I don't want to call victims. I have to say survivors. They're the ones who's affected by the craziness that goes on in that city council and that goes on at the city of Alexandria. So they have to be more vocal. They have to be more pushed back. Like you said, the battle has just begun, to be honest with you. After this election, the battle has just begun, because it will be a battle.
Yeah,
I promise.
It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be interesting to see the middle road that Jock tries to play when Mr. Green and Mr. Laverdane are back up there.
Exactly.
Because he's gonna have to go hard at this point. If usurping the city and using them people the way he been using the people was his goal, and there's an obstacle in between it, I'm interested to see how that's going to go. I'm interested to see what Jock is going to do and how he's going to go about reacting. Because he's going to have to. And I was already told that if they win, he's not going to be showing up to all them city council meetings like they used to. Or like he's used to now.
Of course he won't. Of course he won't. Of course he's not. He's going to go in hiding. I believe that. Now, another thing, too, this is the time, too, when they need to be more civil rights activists and civil rights organizations. I'm not saying NAACP. I'm saying some that needs to be created, brand new, grassroots, that need to start coming and popping up and doing the business of the people. That's what I'm saying. There needs to be an organization being created of young people understanding their rights and fighting for their rights, because that's what it's going to take here on out. Them learning the policies, learning how government works, but also knowing their rights and how to use them. For their better, for their good, because everything cannot be changed, but a lot of things can be changed. We got to look at the ideal that when Trump gets off, go ahead,
and can be at least addressed.
Yeah,
if nothing else, because we know it's going to be people who are going to be in position of power that's going to block a lot of stuff, but at least we have a group of people, young people, who understand and know how to fight, because they got to fight them by the law. They can't fight them all the time by not knowing what you're fighting for and understanding it, and then knowing the law behind what you're fighting for. You understand?
Yeah. It's I believe that time is coming. I believe that those people are around. I also, and this is it's a big compliment to us. People are trying to see if anything in our methods could be useful in their methods that they could actually do. So when I say that, I say that to say like, so the things that we fight for, they want to see it come to fruition the way we're fighting for it. Because Black people in large are a very show and tell type of people. They'll do it once they see it's done and it works. Because apathy. Well, it ain't no need for me to go vote because it ain't gonna do nothing. But we've challenged that. We've challenged that, and we've told the people that if you go vote, it changes things. And look at them so far. Things are, whether or not anybody wants to acknowledge it, things are changing. And yeah, this is a repeat from the last time. You got a councilman at large seat that's in the runoff, and you got the District 1 seat that's in the runoff. But this time the roles are reversed. So the ones that did you wrong are the ones that are in trouble right now. And the ones that were doing the right thing, those are the two that are on the upside. So, like I said, we got a little bit. They keep saying, I get it. We got a little bit further to go. But starting tomorrow on these shows, you will get asked, did you go vote? Did you go vote yet? You got tomorrow. Get up tomorrow morning if you got time. If you don't, wait till Saturday. Because you can get up and you can get up and go vote on Saturday.
Yeah, that's and to watch the weather, because I think it's going to change sometime next week. So
they're going to come now. Listen, y'all, they're going to give us excuses why we can't go vote.
Yeah, so I would go and vote as soon as I could. As soon as I get the opportunity to vote, I would go vote.
Yep.
And get it in, so you don't have to stress yourself. I'm closer to December 7th.
Yep. And then you could just sit back.
Mm-hmm.
That's it, folks.
We just got to get.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. You got it.
No, I was just gonna say we just got to get better, and we definitely need to get someone who can find young men and women who are interested in starting in their own organization. That's what we need to find out. Who wants to start their own civil rights organization?
Maybe that's a little bit too heavy. Maybe we should start with community organizations.
Okay.
And then you build up your community organizations.
That's what we need.
The more community organizations.
What's lacking here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
So,
because you know what, a community organization can be created at any time. This is a time when things need to change, and
you can't. You're not going to get that from a group of people that just newly formed.
No. What I'm saying is you'll have them educated, and you find out what they want, and then you go from there. But they have to understand everything that's going on around them in order for them to get it started.
Yeah.
You'd have to be able to not really convince them, but give them the reason why things are not the way that they want them to be. Once you give them the reasons why, I think, well, maybe we could do this, maybe we could do that. I think a big thing is this juvenile justice, these centers is a big thing that we could look at, or they could look at, doing some type of deterrent. How do we get kids to not want to go in that direction? And let them understand their right to be taken away from them, because it is about civil rights. Regardless, it's still about civil rights.
Yeah, what it all boils down to.
And human rights too. Yeah, it's more human rights, and how the prison system feeds off of our kids, and getting them to understand that. And then we can look at the racism, because it's there. Like I said, the community part can be done on a level of, just in the communities. But you want your children, or you want our kids to understand that they have a power, and the power is within them. These kids are intelligent. These kids are smart. And I think they can do it. They need to start a movement. You got to remember now, the Black woman has always been in a movement. She's never stopped moving. Black women don't ever stop moving. So now we raise our kids to understand what a movement is too. So it's time for them to step up. Because we in our grave, we moving and making things happen all the way till we go to our graves.
They haven't been introduced to the movement here.
That's
in
right.
This area.
Because it hasn't been one.
It hasn't.
Well, anytime there is one, they get started, some wise ass comes along and ruins it.
Yeah, and dismantles it.
It.
But so if you can get not only just people from here, you get people who's going through the similar situations in their areas, in their towns, you get them too. Don't just cater to Alexandria and Pineville. You get all the surrounding areas.
Well, I want to say that what you're talking about is community. We need to have a community of folks that's really with it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I see. Okay, I hear what you're saying. Why you using the word community?
That will come.
Well, see, you can't have one without the other. Because if there's no community in your organization, then you're not gonna have an organization for too long.
I get what you're saying. I guess we might be saying it different than what you're saying to ours.
No, I don't mean community as in an area. I'm talking about community as in a people that think that you could be in a community like
I got you.
Like for instance, community change.
Like-minded.
Yeah.
Like-minded.
Yeah, like I'm in the fellowship for the housing justice narrative. That's a community. Those are a group of people. It's certain people like Ms. Dora Rahim and there's a lot of people I could I reach out to for advice in this fight. That's my community, and they everywhere from Washington D.C. to Washington State. That's the type of community I'm talking about. You're gonna need infrastructure. Getting people together is cool, but you're gonna need infrastructure. You're gonna need infrastructure, and you're gonna need reliability, and you're gonna need consistency. Because that's what people respond to when people are constantly being stimulated with consistency and positivity, then they'll be more likely to stick around. And that's what you need. You need longevity, you need consistency, and you need community. Those three things together, you can't.
Once you build your network, once you educate and you train all that you're talking about, it will come.
I'm sure. Anytime you invest any kind of any effort into something like that, then it usually falls into place. And that's kind of the goal. It don't got to be pretty. I just wanted to be.
Community is lacking civil activism.
Yep. That I see that. Because without civil engagement, there is no community. Basically, you just got a group of people that's getting taken advantage of.
and I really don't think it should be a separation. Actually, think about it now. Is to get everybody involved, young and old, young and mature. I don't want to say old, but mature. Our adults and our young ladies and young men together, and so that they'll be able to see it from the standpoint of them as being the youth and young men and women, and then us being the adults and how we interact with them in order to do this one cause.
The key seems to be in the church, because that's the one place that all those demographics cross.
Yeah, but the church,
and then the other, you got to, because see, when you do it, like say for instance, the grassroots stuff usually starts around an organization or like a college, right? You can get a grassroots campaign started and get it really off the ground if you're at a college. That's at a place where everybody's at. It's a place that everybody is easily accessible. But a lot of that stuff requires church, because Alexandria is not built around no institution like that. The only institution that we are gathered around is church.
We have a whole bunch of churches, but again, even though but the only thing about that with me is because everybody's not on that same level.
Well, the people that you can get out of that group is, look, I'm not speaking from any lack of trying. The people that we've encountered have been through the church system at one time. The most people that we've actually had and besides social media is when we were having meetings at churches and at the library. And that community outreach is a little different too, because you still gotta overcome quite a few obstacles just to get them there. You gotta schedule it just right when you can use what's already in place. Everybody know what time you're supposed to be in church, and everybody know what time church let out. All we trying to do is get the people, get a couple people attention to the point where, hey, y'all, I know that, we usually don't participate in this, but, we ain't even just talking about elections. It's not really about the election. This is about our future in general. And if you can't get people on that one accord, then I don't know what else to do. But yeah, that church house is something else. There's a lot of people in that church. Look how it worked out for Reverend Randy Harris. Now, that church house vote, they got him in the top 44%.
The civil rights movement started from the church.
In the church.
They did. I just think the mindset is not the same as it was back then.
But it still remains.
I get that.
Yeah.
Because back then people were tired of not being able to live because they were being threatened and bullied. Not to say,
and the church was the only safe place they could go.
And the church was the only safe place for them to go. And as they start to worship together, they realize that, hey, we got more work we can do with this worshiping. Yeah. And that's what they did. But nowadays, it's more for our youth. It's the social media. The way that they get them together is through social media. Church is fine, but the social media is where they get like-minded people who know how to fight those battles. They get with them, and it's the networking that'll work on that end in other cities.
That's why I'm excited. That's why I'm continually bringing up this Black Project 2025, because this is some new age civil rights stuff that they're pulling off, and there is no guidebook on how to build it. And I'm saying I'm saying everything I done said, but there really is no instruction book on building a movement. I mean, there is, but it's not nothing that has, it's not a one size fit all.
No, it's not. It's not. When you talk about grassroots, you're literally talking grassroots.
You're talking about something custom to that area.
To that area.
Yeah, and it has to be tailored for that area.
Exactly. Like It actually, you're saying churches. We can also look at schools.
But do we have control in schools?
We could have control in school. We just never thought about schools. That's all.
Which schools? CLTCC, LSUA? Are we talking about white institutions? Or are we talking about black institutions?
We're talking about wherever there's black students or black people. That's what we're talking about.
Okay, well, you get ready to fight Jeff Powell over that. Because he's going to put up a Klan-worthy fight against you.
You think so?
Yeah. They're taking things out of school. We live in a state that that they don't even want you to teach no critical race theory. I don't know if they're going to be up for hold on.
Well, critical race theory is for college. It's not for regular school. It's for college.
They don't want to teach race. They don't want to teach the correct history in schools, much less anything else.
Yeah. And that's another thing that could be conduit. I wanted to say to getting organizations together, talking about our Black history. Project 1619 could be a starting point. There's so many different books and different studies that we can do when it comes to African American history, and give that to not think about it about Black African history in church. Black History Month. We don't talk about it any other time. Right. It doesn't come up in any conversations in any, programs we do in churches. So what we do is we could change that narrative. We could start small classes. Well, like
we always talk about starting some damn small classes.
Yeah, we do, but we do.
But we really do it though.
Yeah. The only classes we didn't have this year was for October. September, we didn't have a class. October and November.
NASA in its
August class on the show.
There was no years.
Okay, hold on. I'm trying to find a video.
Stop.
So never.
But he's.
Nope, that's not it.
I was reading.
The one about.
So never.
That's the guy that says, "You never plead guilty." Listen.
So never plead guilty.
Let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
What is your name? What is your name?
I refuse to answer. No. My name is Johnny Carson.
How do you know that to be your name?
Well, it's on a birth certificate, legally
That's
recorded.
hearsay.
That's hearsay?
Of course.
Well, I mean, if it's legally recorded?
That's still hearsay. Suppose you were born, and I must assume that you were born because you're here tonight with us. There's a certificate made out not by you, a certificate made out by somebody else. That a boy child was born to Mr. and Mrs. Carson, and that he was named Johnny.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't mean that you know that to be the fact. That means you have read that to be the fact.
Yeah, I see what you mean. In other words, I only have to go by what is recorded.
You're pleading guilty to something that you don't know of your own knowledge.
Yeah, you see? And so when you don't have the knowledge, when you don't have...
Never find truth. All you can do is find false, drop it and get rid of it. And eventually when you can't get rid of any more false, what you're left with is the truth. How much false can you find? And there's lots in history. I was looking around the internet and came across the images of the 1893 Chicago World Exposition. And it blew my mind because it looked like ancient Rome in the middle of downtown Chicago. And as I looked at it further, well, here's another one in Philadelphia, here's another one in St. Louis, in Buffalo, in San Francisco, and then as soon as they were done, they tore them all down and threw them in the garbage. That just told me there's something wrong with all of these. The story of the expositions is a gigantic lie. And I think it's so huge of a lie because I think they're right at a bridge point when so many things about the 1800s that seem strange and weird, right as this sort of period ends of unbelievable strangeness, and all of a sudden these fairs spring up all over the world with impossible buildings we're talking about, which are colossal structures. Chicago built 700 acres up there in supposedly less than 2 years. St. Louis built 1,200 acres of exposition buildings. One of the buildings in Chicago, the manufacturer's building, would house 300,000 people. There's a giant statue in the middle of the lagoon. It was called the Golden Lady, and it was known as the Statue of the Republic. It was 65 feet tall. They say it was covered in gold leaves that had copper underneath, but others speculate it was actually made out of solid gold. So you're talking 65-foot high, potentially solid gold statue. We're talking giant structures and looking like ancient Rome with towers and domes and columns and the most fine, ornate pieces to them in these record, unbelievable times. Then as soon as they're done, chuck them in the garbage. Like Jackson Park is a swamp. So supposedly they had to drive down tens of thousands of wooden stakes in order to support the weight of everything. They dug out massive lagoons, lakes. They had a canal system that ran through the entire exposition. They also had an above-ground electric train. An electric train, well, where's the electricity coming from? That's running around the park. They had a moving walkway down by the shore. Not enough people are asking, where does this technology come from?
Just to frame it, if I'm not mistaken, the Chicago Fair was the first time people had seen electric light.
Tesla's the one who got the electricity contract for the Chicago Exposition, and it was certainly more than all of the lights anyway that were in New York City at the time were at the Chicago.
Okay, you guys get the point. He says you keep filing away at a lie until all you whittled yourself down to is the truth. Just keep looking for the truth by automatically discarding lies. Apparently, guys, we've got an update. There seems to have been, it was a shooting at the church. Let me see if this is even where we're at. I'm trying to see if I recognize any of this. This was an hour ago. So let me go ahead and cue that up for you guys, just in case. I need y'all to be safe out there. Hold on. What the fuck? Oh. They got police all back up in there too. I don't know. Damn. Yeah. Oh, hold on. We're gonna find out. Let me see. Oh yeah. This was definitely Alexandria. Where I don't know. Check on your peoples. Check on your peoples. I'm gonna play it one more time so y'all can kind of get an idea of where it's at. I don't know. Damn. What the fuck? Oh, I know exactly where this is at. This is on Broadway. They got police all back up in there too. This is right next door. This is at the fire station, the one that's closed down. But what's that church right next door to the one that your boy go to?
Next to
True Vine?
True Vine?
Yeah.
They said a shooting happened at True Vine?
I want to say that this is an ungodly amount of police presence down Broadway right now. Oh no. There's cops as far as you can see. Let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They got police all back up in there too. 8, 9, 10, 11. And then the whole rest of the road from you could pretty much say from the Martin Luther King Library all the way to the end where Peabody is at. They got cops lined that whole park. So check on your folks out there, man. Maybe that's the reason why we got the low But also remember, in the old days, before elections, when they didn't want people to vote. Now I'm gonna leave that alone. That's too conspiracy theory. But
no, what was you gonna say?
They used to scare black folks by
scare them from voting.
Yep, to keep them from voting.
Mm-hmm. The cops did that.
And it used to be up to the sheriff now. They used to be the ones that keep that undercover.
That's right. They were the ones who keep people from voting.
Yep. So hopefully y'all, the people that's watching this later on down the road, excuse me, I know we didn't have a lot of live viewers, but I thank everybody for showing up.
I don't know.
Hold on. I thank everybody for showing up. I thank everybody for following me over to YouTube. This was our YouTube show because that was the whole point of me making YouTube, is to I can get y'all over there so we can get off of Facebook, because Facebook got a lot of BS rules. So follow me on over to YouTube. Follow me on over to YouTube. If you click this link and you're watching this video, go ahead and click the like and subscribe button. And that way you can and hit the bell. Hit the bell. Your bell notifications will let you know when I'm on, when I go live. It's typically every other day. But there are some times where we need some extended period of rest and kind of get a lot of this out of our mind. But go check on your folks and make sure you go vote tomorrow, because they trying. You can see they trying something. They trying something. Hold on, let me play this Dr. Umar real quick.
Dr. Umar?
Explain that a little more when you say, do I put black over everything?
I asked you a couple of questions.
Go ahead.
Black magic or white privilege?
Black magic.
Okay. Black coffee or white wine?
Black coffee.
Black and Miles or white owls?
I blow black and mild smoke on my ancestor shrine, so I'm going with the black and mild.
Would you rather slip on black ice or play in white snow?
Let me slip on the black ice.
Would you rather have black gums or white teeth?
Would you rather? Okay, but if the gums are black, what color are the teeth?
Ooh, that's a good question. White?
Give me the black gums.
Okay, with a piano, do you hate there's more white keys than black, or does it make you happy that the black keys are on top of the white ones?
It makes me happy that the black keys give you a stronger sound than the white ones.
Wow.
Would you rather be in a blackout or listen to white noise?
Would I rather be in a blackout or listen to white noise? I would rather be in a blackout because I do most of my meditation in darkness.
Are zebras white with black stripes or black with white stripes?
They're black with white stripes.
Damn.
I'm black over everything.
So that being the case, guys, we're out of here. Thank you for joining us on this YouTube channel that I'm trying to build up, that y'all gonna help me with. Go check on your folks. Go check on your folks down Broadway, because it's a lot of police presence. I'm talking about a lot, too much. Some of that look like the sheriff's department and the police department and the fire department. You can't really tell what's what.
You sure they're not at that firehouse?
No, that firehouse is empty. They're at the church.
Oh, okay.
They're at True Vine. So,
hey, Miss Cheney, you know anything going on?
No, I'm gonna get up and go see.
Okay. Well, we're getting out of here, folks. It's been lovely. Thank you guys for joining us on Send All Complaints at 915 3rd Street. Ironically, it's right up the street from this location. So send your complaints. All right. We're getting out of here. Good night.